Joe Rogan came out and said that Alex Pereira fought with a broken hand and had the norovirus. Now, of course, Joe Rogan being a UFC insider, one of the OGs of the sport, he's going to get to hear things, okay? And the UFC know. They have the PI, they have doctors, they have teams, they have people checking on your well-being, and they want to make sure that you get to the octagon in the best health possible.
Michael Bisping, comentarista do UFC, gravou um vídeo recentemente no seu canal do YouTube comentando as últimas polêmicas sobre a luta do brasileiro Alex Pereira contra Magomed Ankalaev. O inglês comentou sobre a possibilidade do Poatan ter lutado com uma mão quebrada e também deu sua opinião sobre a maneira como o brasileiro lidou com a derrota. Vamos dar uma olhada no que disse o inglês.
Alex Pereira apparently fought with a broken hand at UFC 313.
They say he fought with a broken hand and norovirus against Ankalaev.
That's why he's no longer the champ. That's why the crowd wasn't excited, and that's why he looked a little bit flat. Apparently a broken hand, and he had the norovirus as well. Now, to be fair to Alex Pereira, he hasn't come out and said this, okay? He did an interview, and he came out and he said, yeah, there was some issues, but he never said that entirely. And I got a lot of respect for Alex Pereira for handling it this way. He said, I'm not going to take anything away from Ankalaev. Many people try and do that type of thing. I'm not that type of guy. Everybody goes through problems. I'm sure he had his own problems too. I had mine. My hand is fine. But it did happen with a lot of things, but I don't want to use that as an excuse. I don't want to make any excuses or use this as leverage or anything. My moment is going to come when I win the belt back, and then I'll disclose anything to you guys. He's kind of alluding to a little bit of an issue, a little bit of a problem, but didn't come out and say my hand was broken, okay? So first and foremost, massive respect to Alex Pereira. Because if Joe Rogan came out and said it, he could have gone down that path and said, well, yeah, I didn't want to say anything, but seeing as it's out there now, yeah, that's true. Now, a lot of people might think that if Alex Pereira goes out there in the next fight, swings like crazy, gets a big knockout, they might say, well, hold on, there it is. Clearly evident that his hand was broken leading into the first fight, because look what happened in the second one. Now, by the way, he did throw 76 punches. 76 punches with the power that Pereira has. I don't think there was too much of an issue. Maybe it was a little sore leading up to the fight, but as I said, with the adrenaline, you don't really feel those things. People that aren't fighters won't understand. Getting punched in the face doesn't hurt, okay? You don't get hit and it registers as, oh, that hurt. No, when you get kicked in the leg, you feel that. When you take a body shot, you feel that. But punches to the face, we can take that all day. And your hand being a little bit sore, when you've got the adrenaline and you've got the bandages on and the gloves on and you're swinging, you don't give a shit. Because if you land and your opponent goes down, it was all worth it. So as I was saying, if in the rematch, which apparently is going to go down in August in Abu Dhabi, and of course Pereira's going to get the rematch, he absolutely deserves it, given what he's done for the sport and all the fights that he's taken part in. By the way, all the ones that he had when he fought injured as well, like when he fought Yuri Prohaska with a broken toe. But if he beats Magomed Ankalaev and it's a quick knockout, people will jump to the conclusion and say, look, listen, clearly the man did have a broken hand. But I don't necessarily agree with that, because going into the rematch, a lot of questions have now been answered for Alex Pereira. As a striker, when you're going out there against somebody like Magomed Ankalaev, who granted doesn't have the wrestling of a Khabib or an Islam Makhachev, right? He's just not that type of guy. But he can wrestle, and he did go for takedowns, and he has taken down lots of his previous opponents that causes you to clam up. Now, Pereira knows he can stop those takedowns. He stopped about 20 takedowns. I don't know what the exact number is, but every single one. Not once did Alex Pereira hit the canvas. So now that's going to give him the mental fortitude, the strength, the confidence to go forward a little bit, to be a bit more reckless, to take more chances, and to swing like the Poatan that everybody loves, okay? Maybe it was the wrestling, maybe it was the broken hand, or maybe Magomed Ankalaev just had a better night at the office. Now, I will admit, when I first saw this one, I did think that Pereira was coming out with excuses, but when I saw this interview that he did, he ain't making any excuses whatsoever. And just like I say, just like every fighter says, not many fighters are 100% when they step inside that octagon. So full respect to Alex Pereira for handling it this way, and I very much look forward to the rematch.